Good evening, you all. Today, I'm talking about one topic left in the genetics, that is biosensors. Biosensors, actually a small topic, but there are certain information we have to know about them. Biosensors, we will discuss here about the principle of the biosensors, their types, and the different applications. To explain this chapter or a topic, I would like to take the help of the one paper published by Shagun Malhotra. Here they have discussed about these insights of the biosensors. So first we have to understand what are these biosensors. So by the name by the name itself indicates that there are something which is related to which is something biological, and there is something who's going to sense about that. So actually this is the concept where one biological component is there, and there is a one device which will detect the signals from this biological component by the chemical method, and will convert this chemical signal or biological signal into the electrical signal, and then this electrical signal will be displayed or will give the data what we are looking for. So that what the biosensors do. So simply you can define it as a device, or they are the detectors. In this we need certain components in the device. A very important component which is going to use is a transducer. So transducer which will transduct the signal of that biological component and will convert into the electrical signal. Nowadays biosensors are being used in many areas, and they are providing very fast and reliable source of data. So I'll just read you the definition what these biosensors are. Biosensors are the device in which there is a coupling of biological sensing element with the detector system using a transducer. In comparison with any other currently available diagnostic devices, biosensors are much higher in performance in terms of sensitivity and selectivity both. So you can find high sensitivity as well as high selectivity. Biosensors have found potential applications in the industrial processing and monitoring, environmental pollution control, also in agriculture and food industries. Later we will see the application of these biosensors. Actually the biosensors the research on biosensors started along back 1950s around, and in 1965 by one scientist named Clark, he has developed one biosensor, first biosensor you can say that, and that biosensor was meant for for diagnosis of sugar in the blood. Actually the term biosensor is often used to cover sensor devices used in order to determine the concentration of substances and other parameters of biological interest. And these biosensors function by coupling a biological sensing element. Means, as I told you already, there is a one biological substance and there is a one element which will sense this biological signal, that we call it as a transducer. So another definition of biosensors is like a chemical sensing device in which a biological derived recognition is coupled to a transducer to allow the quantitative development of some complex biochemical parameters. So, if you want to divide, or if you want to see the device, how it will look like, how many components the device have. So, you can divide it like one component which is called as a sensor. Sensor are sensitive biological element, as I told you, which can be a biological substance, which will be a biological substance, like maybe a tissue, maybe a microorganism, maybe organelle, maybe cell receptors, enzymes, antibodies, nucleic acids, right. Most of the time enzymes are more preferred to used as an sensor here. So, this sensor which is actually producing some signal, and that will be received by another element, which is a second element out of it, that is a transducer. And transducer is actually a detector element. So, it will detect it. By now the detector can be what to detect and which way to detect. So, which way to detect will give you various options, right, and in that way you have either detect through physicochemical way, or to detect through optical way, or detect through piezoelectric electrochemical method, like various ways. So, like that there will be different choices for the transducer, and actually that lately transform the signal resulting from the interaction of the analyte with an biological responsible for the display of the result in a user friendly way. So, you have a one biological compound, biological substance, and that biological substance will be added with an analyte. That analyte will take that marker out of the biological component, and that will be read by transducer. Okay, so that's an important part of it. And next, the third part of this device is the associated electronics. So, one screen and other material which has been added here, which comprises a signal conditioning circuit, which we call it as an amplifier, because the signal which has been received by transducer is a very small, a very low signal. So, that low signal has to amplify. Otherwise, if you won't amplify, you can't see the signal on the screen. So, that's usually added with one display unit along with it. You can see this diagram, you can understand very well here. This is the first unit you have, this is your sensitive biological element, and this is actually, this part is showing the what called the analyte, right, is be added with the analyte. And now this combination of sensitive biological element, this combination of sensitive biological element and the analyte is finally going to be received by the transducer here. This is the transducer, and after the transducer receive it, the signal, which is a very low signal, has been transferred to the associated electronic devices. So, here various sections have been added. Finally, you will get a display, and in this here a reference standard can also be used. When it both will go into here, it will first amplify the signal what has been received by transducer, and then it will process it here. This is a processing unit, and then it will display in this particular part. So, like that, this whole unit, you remember this diagram is very simple one. Just you remember this analyte, just you remember this analyte here, this signal biological element, biological component, this is transducer, and this whole is an associated electronic device that can have multiple components in it. So, I hope you understand that how this all look like. If you want to see the principle of this biosensor, so very important is the biological material. So biological material, the isolation of biological material is again a very skilled method, right? Somebody who is very skilled in it has to extract the biological symptoms. Suppose that is an enzyme, so enzyme has to be taken properly, or it's a cell or a whole cell, or it's an organism, so that thing has to go particularly well. And after that, suppose that it is an enzyme, so that an enzyme should be immobilized. Once the enzyme is immobilized, then it can be used for this purpose. So here you can see the immobilized biological material is in intimate contact with the transducer. So here you see, this is a biological material, this is an analyte. So this complex is going to, here this is a complex form, bound analyte, and this bound analyte actually it's a very heavy rain here, so maybe the sound is little disturbed, but I think I'll be audible. Now what happens here, the biological response, afterwards what you'll receive, the biological response. This analyte, as I told you, it will bind to the biological material to form a bound analyte, which is in turn produces the electronic responses that can be measured. Okay. In some cases, the analyte is converted to a product which may be associated with the release of heat or maybe gas as an oxygen, electrons or hydrogen ions. So these release will be received by the transducer, and then the transducer will amplify it and give it, means it will send it to amplifier, and then it will record it. So here you can see biological responses, electronic responses, convert these biological responses, very important point, biological responses converts into electronic responses, and then you will get the final measurement here. When you see the working of biosensors, as above diagram shows, this way it all goes into it, and when you are recording it, there will be one reference baseline, and then there will be a recording. So always the reference baseline, or has to be the value of reference baseline should be minimized, or should be subtracted from the value of that main value of the product or the biosensor. So then you will get an exact value of the biological response. Here they are talking about how the history and the history of the biosensors, as well as all around the world how the biosensors are growing. You can read about this, you can understand how this all happened. As I already told you that around 1965 Clark has developed the first one, then later the process began. Technology, we have some technology used for transducer in biosensors. So first thing is that we should be very particular that what is our demand, means what we want, and what we want, on that basis we will select the particular method or technology or type of biosensor. So there are four different type of biosensors are there given, and these have different technologies to be used. First thing is a specific desired interaction between the analyte and biological element. What type of interaction between the analyte and biological element you are looking for, right? Second, the intended use of biosensors. What your purpose of doing it? Manufacturing cost of the device, as well as what maybe is something very complicated and is got very high cost, then it may not be worth to prepare something which is very costly, which cannot be used. So that is also an important point, cost effectiveness. So already we have discussed about the biosensing method. So biosensing methods can be many ways of biosensing methods actually. There are optical method. By optical method it can sense this. By biochemical method it can sense it. Okay. By sound waves it can sense it. So which way you want your sample to be analyzed, or what type of sample you have, on that basis you will these biosensors selected. So that's what called as the biosensing method. So biosensing methods are actually helpful to designing a different kind of biosensors. So now below you can see what kind of biosensors you have. The method of transduction depends on the type of biochemical or you can say physico-chemical changes resulting from the sensing event. Primarily biosensors based on transducer element are mass based, which you call it as piezoelectric. Electrochemical biosensors, which, for example, potentiometric method, amperometric method, etc. And optical type of biosensors, here fiber optics can be used and all. Now here there is one chart which will tell you the type of biosensors here. Transducing element means on the basis of the transducing element you have three different categories, and as per the biorecognition element. If you see the biorecognition element, you have antibody, phase, DNA, enzyme, biomimetic agents, like that. And if you see the transducing element, then different transducers which act on different methods will be used. So when you use a different transducer, it means it's a different biosensor you are using. Here you have mass based biosensors, for example magnetoelectric biosensors, piezoelectric biosensors, quartz crystal, surface acoustic waves, SAW can be used. Another is second set is the electrochemical biosensors. These are also very much used and very utility products. Electrochemical biosensors are having potentiometric sensors, means they are using potentiometric methods. Amperometric sensors, MPD metric sensors, and conductometric sensors. Right? You have seen conductometer, you have seen potentiometer. So that what principle they are following, here the sensors are following the same. Optical biosensors, where we have SPR, surface plasmon responses, Raman and FTIR, fiber optics, and others. So like that there are various biosensors available, and on that basis different various transducing elements are available. On that basis different biosensors are available too. Now we'll come to the biosensors and their uses. As I told you, piezoelectric sensors. So whenever they need to record or something, you are using some biological agent or biological substance which is going to produce certain kind of sound waves, and those sound waves will be recorded by these what's called transducer, and these converted into the electrical signals. So hence they are also called as the acoustic biosensors. Usually piezoelectric biosensors produces an electrical signal when a mechanical force is applied. In this mode, what they do, in this mode sensing molecules are attached to a piezoelectric surface, a mass to frequency transducer, in which interaction between the analyte and the sensing molecule set up mechanical vibrations. Okay, so what is doing analyte, when the analyte is going in contact with the biological substance, they will produce a kind of vibration, right? These vibration will be recorded, translated into electrical signal later, right? For example, there is a example of this kind of biosensor is quartz crystal micro or nano balance. Another is the electrochemical signals. So electrochemical signals, which is the first time developed as a biosensor by Clark, that was the electrochemical sensor, right? Where the substance or the biological component, when it interact with the analyte, it will produce certain kind of biochemical, and that chemical will be read by the transducer, and transducer convert that sense that chemical signal into the electrical signal. Optical sensors, the optical fibers allow detection of analytes on the basis of absorption, fluorescence, or light scattering. You know very well the principle behind these optical devices. So like that, they will receive those optical signals and will convert into non what's called electrical signals. Okay, so these are three biosensors are there: piezoelectric sensors, or you can call them as an acoustic biosensors, electrochemical sensors, and optical sensors. Now we'll see some of the applications. Very important part. Sometime university can ask you only this part, that write the applications of biosensors. So you can understand there are many advantages of this. They are low in cost, small in size, quick and easy in the uses. Their sensitivity is very good, selectivity is nice. So like that, they are the getting earning a lot of respect in the contemporary environment. Here first thing is the clinical and diagnostic applications. Actually the main concept behind of this was the same diagnostic applications. The various diseases are producing various markers. Suppose that when the liver is started getting damaged, so liver will secrete certain kind of chemicals or these factors. So these chemicals and factors will be available in the blood, right? Or if you are able to detect them, you can understand the liver is getting damaged. Maybe on that time the sign and symptoms were not appeared. So in the same case of the deadly diseases like cardiac arrest and all, if we are able to know that the heart is started failing, so we can detect them before actually they are going to create a problem. So that's what biosensors can be very, very much useful. Even nowadays the whole world is working on these kind of things, which we call early detection. So early detection can help us to create the more better healthcare opportunities. So diagnostic applications for various diseases, for various biomarkers will be read by these. Industrial application is also there, where large scale bacterial and eukaryotic cell cultures are doing. Then that case it is very important to you have something which is easy and fast. Environmental monitoring, very, very important use of biosensors in the environmental monitoring to detect the microbes in the water and in the other kind of toxic materials, carcinogenic material available in the water. So that kind of thing can be detected by this. So pollution detection is one of the main function behind the biosensors for environmental monitoring. Agriculture industry is also getting a lot of benefit out of it. For example, the agriculture industries are using a lot of chemicals for the protection of their plants, and later these traces of these chemicals remain in the food stuff, and they'll cause a lot of diseases. So to detect these kind of carcinogenic substances, for example organophosphate traces of carbamates from the pesticides, so like that the industry utilized. Food industry, again lot of permissible limits of the food colors and other sweetening agents and their quality, right? It all can be selected. It all can be selected on that basis. The implementation in this line of food industry is really a big opportunity, and very much used these biosensors for the food industry. Potential application of enzyme-based biosensors to food quality control include measurement of amino acids, amines, amides, heterocyclic compounds, carbohydrate, carboxylic acids, gases, cofactors in organic ions, alcohols and phenols. Immunosensors have important potential in ensuring food safety for detecting pathogenic organisms in fresh meat, poultry or fish. So you can understand in the food industry also the biosensors are very much used. So these are the some very potential applications of the biosensors, and I have told you how these different type of biosensors are different by each other, because their transducers are different, and transducers are different on the basis of what kind of signal they are receiving, right? So it depends on what kind of biological substance used, what kind of analyte need to be used, what to sense from that. On that basis the different transducers has to be designed, and when the transducer is designed by this way, then we can be fit in different biosensors, and like that different biosensors comes in existence. So I hope this small topic you have understood well. Just remember few things very important, that it has a three very important unit. First is the biological component, which has been going to be combined with the analyte. This analyte and biological components combination will give some kind of signal that will be sensed by the transducer, and then transducer will send it to the for amplifying it. Once the amplification happens, then it will be analyzed and gives you as an electrical responses that can be recorded and can be understood by various markers as a various to detect various markers for various diseases. So I hope these diagrams and this small article will help you out to understand. Along with this, I will send you one more article which will help you, give you more insight about it, and you will be ready to, you will be able to write the at least 5 marks answer for this. Thank you so much for listening this.